Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Sheila Bila coming to you with another review of Tyler Perry's Divorce Sisters, episode 4, Line in the Sand. Y'all, this episode was really good. Tyler Perry is doing his thing with this show, and I am so happy. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into this show. Please don't hesitate to like and comment and subscribe. The more you do like the videos, the more I do go through the algorithm, and more people will start to view my commentary. Y'all help me. I'm giving y'all this little commentary. So I'm thanking y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for listening to me, for your comments, for your likes, for your views. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. All right. And please don't mind my voice. I have been overextending it a little bit lately, and it's a little funny, but it'll be back. So, but that's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and get into this Tyler Perry sisters. Oh, divorce sisters. All right. So the episode picks up where it left off, where Naomi, she comes in and she sees the white girl over there with her ex-husband, Franklin. And she is drunk. When I tell you she is drunk out of her mind, this girl is drunk. I'm not going to say out of her mind, but she drunk. She real drunk. They trying to give her coffee. Now, when I took my driver's license test, a long time ago, they told me one of the questions was, if you were drunk, what do you do to get past the drunkenness? Now they had water A, coffee B, time C, or D, all of the above. Well, the answer was time. It didn't matter how much coffee you gave that girl, she was still gonna be drunk. Now maybe she'll go pee it out a little bit, but the girl was still gonna be drunk. She needed to get somewhere and go to sleep. That's what she needed to do. But they kept trying to get her coffee, child. When I tell you Bridget was running, Bridget was running back and forth and back and forth and forth and back. I said, they gonna make Bridget break one of her heels off her shoe the way she running trying to get this girl coffee. And then they brought her the little cup of coffee, and Naomi said it wasn't hot enough. She said, bring her the pot. I said, Tyler Perry's finna set this up. I already saw it coming. If you didn't see this coming, you was blind. They put this at most people, they got Keurigs now. But hey, this girl, they got this big black hot cup of the bowl. What is it? The pot of coffee. They set it on the table. And everybody, just trying to calm her down, right? So, little people saying things here and there, here and there. And then Javon, he tried to throw it off. He was just like, hey, I take pictures. I do photography, right? And so they like, you trying to diffuse it. Can I take a picture of you? You were gorgeous and all this other stuff. So she said, yeah, he said he want to take pictures of all the ladies. And Tiffany, yeah, you or whatever. So everybody like, yeah, but they knew what he was trying to do. They knew he was trying to calm it down. So in the background, while they trying to get her calmed down, the auction has started. Right? So they end up selling I think a trip to the Bahamas or something, $15,000. That's too much. Y'all can get on a cruise ship and go to the Bahamas for cheaper than that. But anyway, then they end up bringing up the painting. So Naomi notices the painting. The painting is her brother's painting. Her brother was I guess a heroin addict, and he ended up having an overdose. Come to find out, he's a painter, and he painted that picture. Once he had passed away, the value went up. He said like $1.4 million. Now, when you in the business, when you're in the art business or music business, everybody knows once you pass and leave this earth, your artistry goes up. So you're worth, they say you're worth more dead than you are alive. That's what they say. But anyway, so when I tell you, Franklin got up there and totally embarrassed his wife. He was like, she was obnoxious, she was rude, she was out, just really down in her, making it seem like that was the worst decision that he's ever made in his life. Then he talks about his new white wife, tells her to stand up. She doesn't cause any problems. Child, she just do whatever he say do and all this other mess. And just dogging Naomi. And then on top of that, to add insult to injury, he gonna sell the painting for start off with $5 after he just said that the painting went up in value for 1.4 million, right? And he did also tell them people that he just took the painting back from his wife. Child, he was just going on and on and on. He was dragging. When I tell you he was dragging Naomi, he was dragging. And I tell you one thing else, if Naomi I think Naomi sobered up a little bit, because the way he was dragging her, it was horrible. But anyway, so he said he gonna start the painting and the auction off at $5. They, At first, people were hesitant to raise their little badge thing or whatever, their paddle. But when he said $5, they started to raise the paddle. Then they said 10, 10, going up, going up, going up. He said, no, no, no. I guess the most he said he was going to do it for $10. Then he turned around and said, you know what? Oh, Naomi friend Tiffany, she's a beast, right? So she said, $5,000. Then somebody else said $10,000. So it started going up. That's when he stopped and said no. He said, well, how about $5 million? He said he was going to pay $5 million for the painting, right? He was going to pay it. That's his painting he brought, because remember, he confiscated it from Naomi. So he said $5 million. And then he said, well, if it's worth that much to you, then $37 million, because we all know that Naomi had got $37 million in a divorce from him. And she didn't. So the auctioneer lady said, okay, sold for $5 million. Okay. So Franklin gets back down, acting like he did something. He's talking about the painting was trash anyway. It'll go good in their garage. Child, Naomi got up. She got that hot cup of coffee and she done threw it on the lady. I said, Tyler, we knew she was going to throw it. She threw it on the lady. The lady is all on the ground. She back red. Is that her back? Is it red? Look a little white. I don't know. But anyway, she's shaking on the ground, hot, yelling. And he said, security, get her out of here. Get her out of here. Naomi gets whisked off to jail. So now it is chaos, right? So they get to the back because they trying to figure out how they going to handle the situation. So some of the girls saying that they're going to go check on, well, Geneva, she was just like, I'll go check on, Naomi, she's her lawyer or whatever. Javon says that he got contact, so he's going to call and do some favors. Him and Geneva kind of going back and forth a little bit because, Geneva feeling some type of way because he all over there in Tiffany face. But she ain't trying to let it show, but she letting it show. And First Lady Rashida said, well, she was going to go check on her friend, Naomi. And Pastor Jeff going to say, no, you not going with her, you going with me. Oh, let me go back some. Y'all see this picture, right? Y'all see this picture. Why is Marcus hand on the pastor's knee talking about, do you need me to take you to the hospital? You need to get checked on. I was like, so you his woman? Like, what is going on, y'all? What is really going on with this relationship? And mind you, Marcus's wife is right there in that blue. She back there in the blue. You see her? I said, what is really going on here? Now, y'all, if y'all went and checked out my last review of this show, I told you my theory that they had something going on. They must be on a DL or something. I have no idea. But this is the weirdest thing here. And Rashida peeps it. Rashida said, no, I'll take, I got my husband. You worry about your wife. Marcus said, do you mind if I take? Anyway, so Pastor Jeff gets up and he's just like, no, Rashida, you not going over there to check on Naomi. This man that gave us $5 million pretty much, and we going to check on him. I said, oh, so you going where the money resides. So Pastor Jeff is one of those pastors. He's one of those money hungry, don't really care about what anybody else got going on except for the people that are funding his program. That's the type of pastor he is. He's disrespectful to his wife. You know what? I'm not going to go in on Pastor Jeff just yet because I got a lot of words for him at the end of my segment. So they figure it out. So this is what's going to happen. Bridget is going to take William home. Geneva, Tiffany, and Javon, they're going to check on Naomi. Rashida, Pastor Jeff, and Marcus, they're all going to the hospital to go check on Franklin and White Lady. Okay, so that's how that goes. So here we are. They're doing separate car scenes. So you have Tiffany and William in the car. And, not Tiffany, Bridget in the car. And she's just talking about the night. The night was, crazy, all this other stuff. She talked about her young boyfriend. They talk about that, right? Bridget just pretty much says, hey, so I love the way you love my friend. She likes the way that William is so positive, all of this stuff. So she's giving him big props on what a good husband that he is to her friend Geneva. Like, you are so good. She's happy they're together. All this and this and that. They're going to Italy. William, he's always trying to hook somebody up, play matchmaker. This man gonna say, if Tiffany don't work out, then I'm gonna hook you up with Javon. So you just gonna hook all the friends up with Javon. I guess. Anyway, so that's pretty much the gist of that conversation. Now you have this car ride. So Javon making his phone calls, and he end up getting in contact with one of the judges. They're saying that they're going to try to get her out of jail tonight. And then Tiffany brings up the fact that she likes what Javon did, talking about the pictures and all that stuff. Javon brings up the fact that he has taken pictures of Geneva. Geneva don't want to hear it. She mad because she don't like them flirting back and forth with each other. I don't want to hear that right now. My friend is in the hospital, is in the jail, and we're going to talk about this. And Tiffany like, I'm just trying to make the mood light. Well, I like to face things head on. I don't need to be have a light mood. I said, girl, you salty. You salty. You need a little sugar to even it out. Anyway, so that's pretty much that in their car ride. So now you have the car ride with old Pastor Jeff and Rashida. Rashida over there crying. Rashida, you crying? Yeah, because she feels some type of way. And he doesn't understand why is he just so the way that he is. So they end up talking about the night, and Pastor Jeff is totally taking Franklin's side. And she was like, I don't even want to go see Franklin. I don't even like him like that. I don't like his wife like that. I really want to go check on my friend. And so Pastor Jeff, he gets to talking about Naomi, saying, well, hold on, wait. So first he gets on Rashida, because Rashida says she really don't even like him like that and all that stuff, because he knew what he was trying to do. He was wrong. He deliberately did that. He talked about that girl. He knew how much that girl loved her brother, and he pretty much forced her to do what she did. I'm not going to say forced her, but every action has a reaction. So he taunted her to the point to where she threw the coffee on him. And then this is when Pastor Jeff said, so you're judging. She was like, I mean, I have the right to judge, because he ended up cheating on Naomi with now wife, had a baby with now wife, and he pretty much left his family for a now wife. He was dogging Naomi out in the marriage. And so, yeah, I sympathize with my friend. That's not judging. Those are facts. And if you want to put it on the lines of judging, okay, it's judging. That's what he did. And he was wrong for that. And you being a pastor shouldn't agree with that just because he wants to give you money, because you're looking at him as a money bag, right? So now Pastor Jeff talks about Naomi. Now this is judging. He says she's ratchet. He calls her just all kind of names. Worthless, ratchet. She the one tried to destroy their marriage. She loud, she ignorant. Now he probably didn't say all them words, but he said a whole lot of words that was very judgy. That was not conducive to what it was. At least the first lady gave actual facts of what Franklin did to his wife. But Jeff didn't do that. He was calling her names, like literally names. And he was like, can't nobody save her. She don't even like the church or nobody. We can't save her. And Rashida is just like, well, yes, we can. That's what we trying to do. That's what we're here for. That's what our purpose is, to save people like that. She don't like us or the church. Well, what did he say? She don't even like the church or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's not for you, Pastor Jeff, to end up putting all those labels on her. And you know what this girl has been through. This girl has been through a lot. And Franklin didn't make it better for her. And that's not fair. And then they end up talking about, their marriage and all of this stuff, and saying that, you not really being a good husband to me. Like, when the last time they even, slept together or whatever. And he's just like, okay, now what is it now? What's this? What? Give me the list. She said, I'll give you a list. So she's naming all these different things. And then she says, you need to check in on your kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, your son's grades are horrible. He's crying out for attention. Oh, my husband duties. Oh, my parent duties. Oh, like, it's such a hassle for him to even be the father and the husband that he vowed to be before he even got into this church business, and that's not cool. Like, it's not cool at all. And I don't like the fact that he can't see his wrongs. Like, he really fails to see Rashida. It's like he don't even want to see her. And then he flips it and says, well, you didn't check on me. She said, you already had somebody to check on you. Well, he's not my wife. Well, she said, is he? Is he not your wife? Because the way that he's acting, like he trying to take my place. And then Pastor Jeff is just like, well, you're trying to make it, it's always, you're trying to make it seem like every woman and man trying to get me at the church. Well, are they not? When the first episode came on, it was a woman talking about she had you. Now, this man acting like he done had you. And they just trying to discard her. They're trying to discard Rashida. And it ain't cool. And it's like, as I say, he doesn't see anything that he's doing. And he's doing it deliberately and purposely. And he just like, he don't even understand why they even married. Like, marriage shouldn't be this hard. And she was like, well, you need to fix it. No, y'all shouldn't be arguing that much. No, you shouldn't be putting people before your wife and your family. No, you should not. That's why marriage is hard. And it's hard because two people have to commit to the commitment. They have to stand in it. And if you're putting everything else above your marriage, your wife, your family, then of course it's not going to work. And especially when you're a pastor, you have to really work hard at it. But anyway, it was just a mess. Come to find out that the coffee pot incident went viral. So everybody talking about it. Apparently somebody was recording when the whole little incident or whatever. And they saying that Naomi is a hero because he embarrassed her in front of everybody. And the white lady pretty much deserved to get that coffee pot pulled on her back like that. I guess she didn't deserve the coffee, but you know, she needed some type of retaliation. I wish it would have been something different because now she's in jail and now she, you know, all that other stuff, right? And young boy just gonna get some flowers from upstairs, gonna give them to her and tell her, you know, I've been thinking about you, I love you, and he's sorry and all this other stuff. And he not gonna be around the friends no more until she's ready for him to be around the friends, and give her these fake flowers. He said the flowers ain't gonna never die, just like their relationship ain't gonna never die. And then he says, well, I need you to go, since I gave you these flowers, can you go up there and run my bath water? That just shows how immature he is. Really stupid. All right, so now they're here at the hospital. And Naomi really don't want to be there. And Franklin is over there really dogging Naomi out, calling her out her name and all this other stuff. Rashida kind of checks it, but Franklin doing what he's doing. You know, he doesn't care. He says, me and mine, you messing up me and mine. My wife in there with 3rd-degree burns and all this other stuff just because of Naomi, because she don't know how to, you know, just really dogging Naomi out. And so when Rashida comes to Naomi's defense and saying, yeah, but you were wrong too, because you know how much that girl brother means to her, and you got up there on the mic and you really taunted her. And so Franklin is like, so you saying that my wife deserved to get coffee poured on her? No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying this. You didn't have to do what you did, and she didn't have to do what she did. And Franklin calls Rashida the B word, calls her out of her name. And if Rashida didn't defend herself, it's 2 other men in this building. First of all, her husband is there, and then Marcus is there. Nobody checks Franklin. Nobody. And I'm looking at Rashida, and Rashida looking at Pastor Jeff like, you really gonna sit up here and let this man call your wife out of her name and you do nothing? Oh, when I tell you, that ain't love. That's not love at all. That ain't loyalty. That ain't love. That ain't nothing. I don't even like my wife. So I really don't care what anybody do to her, as long as you gonna give me that check. So you selling your soul, you selling your family for this check. That's what you're doing. He's selling out for money. And then Franklin goes on to say, I don't even want Rashida in the room to come even pray for my wife. You come, but she can't. And Franklin walks off. And then Jeff has the audacity to tell Marcus to take Rashida home. Rashida said, I ain't going nowhere. We came together. We gonna leave together. And then he tells Marcus to watch Rashida while he go in here and pray for the wife, for the other wife. I'm like, so you the babysitter, Marcus? Like, and Marcus happy. Ugh. This is, when I tell you this is flipped up backwards. My, look at this bag. I said, child, what a difference 30 minutes make. Child, this one, I ain't trying to laugh, but I said, child, this look like this is beyond third-degree burns. This, I can almost see this girl's skeletal muscles. I mean, skeletal bones. Anyway, so they are here. Franklin looking like he's just so upset. And he's really more upset with Naomi. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, look what she did to my wife. She got third-degree burns. And now Franklin is trying to put a line in the sand because he's saying, I'm not going to give you the money. And the reason why I'm not going to give you the money is because you're still associated with Naomi. And until you stop being associated with her, and until your wife stop being friends with her, then I'm not going to give you anything. And I'm just like, what? So it's okay for him to make these demands on you and stipulations on you. But when your wife starts to make stipulations and demands, it's a problem. But when this man makes stipulations and demands, you're going to try to do whatever you can to fix it. Oh, okay, you do go where the money resides. Whatever. Oh, yeah, he do say this old makeshift prayer. That prayer didn't reach nobody. That prayer didn't even reach the ceiling. Child, that prayer didn't even reach... That prayer reached nothing. It reached that back, and it's burning up that back even more. Anyway, so they get back in the car, and now they're having the whole conversation again, because this is a never-ending conversation about this church. And that's the one thing I hated about being a pastor's daughter, because all I hear is church, 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 church. I got sick and tired of hearing about church, but I'm still in church today, so thank God. But anyway, so now Pastor Jeff, he's blaming Rashida for them not getting the money because they're friends. How is that her fault? And then Rashida, point blank period, he wasn't gonna give you that money no way. He won't give you that money. That's why he didn't even really tell you he was coming. And the only reason why he came is to taunt Naomi. And Rashida said, how long have y'all been friends? Y'all been friends this whole while, and he's never given you anything. And you know what? The only reason why Franklin is so mad at Naomi is because Naomi got 37 million of his dollars. That's the only reason why he's mad. Because from this conversation here, that Franklin and Jeff have been friends all this while, and he's never given anything. This man, Franklin, is stingy. He's selfish. He's a narcissist. And the only people that he care about is him. He don't even care about that white lady. He just care about him and his image and his money, because he's stingy. And that's why he got a hard on for Naomi so bad. It's because she got his money. She got $37 million of his money, and he can't take it. And now he is trying to sit up here and tell Pastor Jeff, hey, I need you to stop being friends with her, and then I'll give you some money. And Rashida clocks it. This dude ain't your friend. This dude ain't giving you no money. He just wants you to stop being friends with Naomi. That's it. And that's all. Like, really? Really? And, oh my God. So they're talking, they're going back and forth about the whole conversation, and it's pretty much going nowhere. To when they get to the house, they pull up in the house in this $300,000 Rolls Royce, because it's all about the money. If it ain't about the money, Jeff gets out the car, doesn't open up the door for Rashida, goes into the house and shuts the door and leaves this girl outside. Rashida like, he didn't even open the door for me. See, this is when it don't even be the little things. It don't even be the big arguments when it comes to marriage. It's always the little stuff. Like, he didn't even open the door for me. So I know he really don't want me no more. He didn't even open up this door. He's been doing this the whole while, opening up my door all the time. And now he didn't do it this one time? Oh, he don't like me. He don't want me no more. Because that's what I get. So you doing this over this man and this money? Because Rashida said the Lord will provide. He's been providing all this while. And now you hung up on this? Pastor Jeff need to get slapped in the back of his neck, because he is dirty dog wrong. He is dirty dog wrong. And I cannot. This man that made me so doggone hot. First of all, he got a boyfriend and he want the money. He's disregarding his wife. because he wants this money. He wants to do any and everything to make everybody happy except his family. And that ain't cool. But anyway, y'all, this is Sheila Bila. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what y'all think about this episode. I was hot. I was 38 hot looking at this mess. I said, Tyler Perry, you still doing a good job. Oh, in Geneva, you a mess. Your husband was trying to call you and check in on you, and you was not giving him the things that he needed back. He was trying to tell you he loved you, and you hung up the phone in his face. All because you sitting over there worried about what Javon and Tiffany over there doing. All right? You lose your man, it's your fault. It's your fault, Geneva. You need to get it together and stop being jealous. All right, y'all. This is Sheila. Be like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what y'all think. Bye.